Labour Party presents for Nigeria a new face, a newborn baby, if I may put it that way, whose growth everybody is interested in now. So on the day of the presidential election, I suspect we are going to have massive votes from people who are not even in the Labour Party, who belong to either APC, ANPP, ABGA, APC, PDP, who will be voting for Labour on the day. They will not leave their political parties, they will not be crossing carpets, but they will vote for hope that Nigeria, which belongs to everybody, will rise again. That is the hope that Peter Obi, through the Labour Party, is birthing for Nigeria. Because the truth is, no matter your status, no matter your religious disposition, no matter your political lineage right now, we are all under the same sun. We're all breathing the same air. We all drink the same water. So everybody secretly, openly are hoping for a better Nigeria. Because the bullet of a terrorist does not discriminate between Christian or Muslim. The bullet of a terrorist does not discriminate between APC, PDP, or any other party. So Nigeria needs a better country. People wish for a better Nigeria. And for this reason, they are clamoring for Peter Obi to be successful in this venture that he has come in, because Labour Party is on a rescue mission to rescue Nigeria. And many of us believe that this is the last opportunity.
I can see how much young people are clamoring for the Labour Party. But from within the Labour Party, what is the position of these young people? Because you see, again, Africa, the whole of Africa continent, is the youngest population in the world by demography. And if that is the case, it doesn't correspond to how these, say, young people are being prepared for the future. Because if we continue to give them the same education that we have been giving them, we can see now that the only place that it can be useful is to go out of the country. But if we want them to resolve the problem of the country, and by extension, the continent, then we must change the way we educate them. We must give them a different kind of education, a different kind of orientation, a different kind of how to see the reality. So, because I see a lot of young people clamoring for the obedience, how do this party see them? What is the role of young people in this party? What are they going to occupy if this party eventually wins?
Yes, the youth content in Nigeria is something that every forward-thinking government should think about taking advantage of. The human population in Nigeria and the youth population, we talk about demographics, is so high. The labor force is if we had, like I said, if we had a president, or if we've had leaders who have been who have understood the power that population gives you. The Chinese have understood that, and they've embraced industrialization and productivity because they have population. They have a labor force with which to generate income for the country. Unfortunately, Nigeria has never appreciated the youth, the power in the youth, their intelligence. We've never really appreciated productivity. We have really been consumers. We consume everything. And in consuming, you actually, there's capital flight in consuming, because you're always importing and importing. And you can never increase your GDP unless you're actually producing and exporting. So Nigeria has missed it, and we've always missed it. And this is why you have a lot of youth migration out of Nigeria. Nigerians are all over the world. Young men and women are all over the world. doing positive things. Forget all you hear about, Yahoo and scams and all that. That is just a very small proportion. And of course, bad news travels fast. Nigerians are making impact worldwide, all over the world, in white-collar jobs, blue-collar environments. They are in industry. They are in the media, doing great things. They are mayors of municipalities. They're engaged in industrialization in foreign countries. Nigerians are doing fantastically well. It is only in Nigeria that Nigerians don't do well because there's no enablement, there's no empowerment. We are not stimulated. The country doesn't create stimulus for development within the country. So Nigerians tend not to excel when they are in Nigeria. But once they go abroad, they start to excel, be it in sports, be it in education, be it in the medical field. You have Nigerians all over, professionals, doing very well and making positive impact to these other countries. And the reason why they've had to leave Nigeria is because government is not providing the enablement, the empowerment for these brilliant minds to make useful contribution to this country. We talked about ASU, education. How much of our budget is geared towards research and development? How much of our budget, is geared towards science and technology, effectively? We are talking the same things over and over. When I was in primary school, we were talking about roads, talking about electricity. Today, we are still talking about roads. We are still talking about electricity. So we haven't moved forward. For those countries that used to respect us back in the day, you can see how far they have left us. Even those countries that used to admire us. The Saudi Arabians used to come to University of Ibadan for medical treatment back in the days. Malaysia came to Nigeria, to NIFOR, to get oil palm seedlings, to set up palm plantations in Malaysia. Today, Malaysia is one of the major producers of palm oil. NIFOR is moribund, and people just come to the office, drink Coca-Cola and chop granite. There's no productivity anymore. So all of these things that we have lost have been because of poor governance, bad leadership, corruption, endemic corruption, institutionalized corruption, and bad behavior. And these things have had a very, very bad and negative, debilitating effect on Nigeria. And the result is what we see today. Banditry, lack of accountability, political rascality, economic decline, terror everywhere, kidnappings, killings, accidents on the roads due to, bad roads, explosions in homes because kerosene is adulterated. All these things, loss of human lives, because we are not a country that is focused on statistics, we don't really have an accurate understanding of how terrible the condition is in Nigeria. Things are so bad in Nigeria now that when you hear of death, it doesn't really shake you unless it's in multitudes. Then you think, oh my God, that's really bad. And then you go back to whatever you were saying before you heard that news. We are so traumatized now that, things hardly affect us because we are fed this constant cocktail of nonsense every day that we have become immune. We are no longer like human beings. We don't feel the way human beings should feel because we have been bastardized and traumatized. So it is important that we return to normality and that we start to, again, behave like human beings. Because we can't even say we behave like animals now, because that would be an insult to animals. Animals behave with nobility, with compassion, amongst themselves. They understand family structure. They are loyal to themselves. Even the ant. If an ant dies when they are on a foray, they will bring the ant back to the nest. Nigerians currently, we don't behave like humans. We are human beings, but we are not very human in the things that we do. So we need leadership that will restore back our humanity.